their people are already vested in him, and all they got to do is, I mean, he's such a no brainer that the creative team is going to have a ball with him. Penta is the biggest introduction star on the WWE programming I've seen that I can remember.
Wow.
Uh, he is electric. He is a megastar. He's charismatic. He has got all the right stuff. If they were to bring Ray Phoenix in with him and put Ray Mysterio and those three together, that would be the greatest Latin connection possibly in the history of the business, omitting Eddie Guerrero from that. It would be just unbelievable. And the guy is just electric. And their people are already vested in him. And all they got to do is, I mean, he's such a no brainer that the creative team is going to have a ball with him because the camera loves him, the people love him, and he's going to be great.
It's funny. Kevin Nash mentioned on his podcast too how a couple of weeks ago he was talking to Triple H, and Triple H was working on somebody's entrance, and I think he might have thought it was Nakamura and everything like that, but it ended up being Penta's entrance. They were kind of trying to facilitate and make so the attention to detail that they put forward in making sure Penta was debuted in the proper fashion and everything like that is all there. And so the machines behind him, and you can see that too. I mean, earlier before he made that debut, it broke on WWE Shop that his mask and T-shirts and everything was available before he even debuted, and they sold out already. That like the masks are on back order till like April. It's just like he's there, man, and it's going to be pretty cool to see what they decide to do. I hope. I know this guy. It's always a suspension of disbelief, and it's walking a fine line when it comes to pro wrestling. But I almost hope they give him like some sort of mystical powers in certain ways, give him that almost mysterious vibe even further. But be a fine line to walk when it comes to that kind of thing, Magnum.
That walk that he has is so animated. It reminds me of like a combination of Bruce Lee and to your in some kind of twisted dark character because of the skeleton look like the homage you paid to La Parca,
Yeah.
and I mean it's just good stuff. And I've been watching this guy since he was, on the Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever saw him, and I said, man, and I thought back then, I thought, well, because it was really, you didn't really get to get his personality as much back then. They had him, a real dark, dragonish type figure, but I I really became a fan of his when he was on AEW, and really, first time I really got to see, multiple sides of what he was capable of doing, and and I think he's in, internally tried to make himself yet the best version of himself that he could be right now, because he really seemed like he got in really amazing shape, and really toned his arms, and just looked like really fit, not like a big muscle guy, but like a really fit athlete, and he moves like a cat. So he just got that perfect look, and that finish that he's got with the the arm breaker gimmick, and then that final pile driver ish thing that he does is so just solid. And I mean, it looks dangerous, yet I know it's not. But he does it so well, it looks like he could kill somebody. And that's the art. I mean, he's
He's got it all when it comes to that. And not since really Rey Mysterio has WWE had a really top like luchador that they can be able to market in the best way and stuff like that. I know they're making the attempt here with Dragon Lee, and some other names have come and gone a little bit, but Penta's like their next big thing, it seems like. And be intriguing to see once Ray Phoenix, once he gets out of his AEW deal, how they decide to position him into the mix as well. So,
And they've given him great opponents too.
yeah,
I mean, two, 5-star opponents right off the get go. I mean, Gable is as good as anybody to lace up a pair of boots there, and going that match last night when he put the fingers out and the kid grabbed it and looked like he broke his hand in pieces. But
yeah,
he knows how to sell something where like it was painful, it hurt. And to be able to do that in a mask, first of all, is an art form all in and of itself, because it's so difficult not being able to see the face emotion. But what he pantomimes is so good that you're like in this thing with him. So it's that anybody that's ever envisioned working and trying to express emotion and think about putting a mask over your face and doing it, that's a whole different thing. And of course, Rey Mysterio, master obviously at what he does. Guys like Mr. Wrestling 2 back in the day, knew how to do that pantomime, and it's an art form. So it's really cool to see it done well. Cool, cool visuals. Great outfit, very athletic. Nothing. There's not one piece. There's not one box I can't check off and say he fills it all. I mean, he's going to be whatever they allow him to be.
Do you think he can flourish on his own as a standalone act, or do you think he would be enhanced by having somebody like a manager or a mouthpiece to kind of build him up even further? Or where do you kind of stand on that?
I would not do that. I would just associate him in the clan with Ray, because Ray is so good.
Yeah.
Bridging that gap. His English is so good, yet he, still, so strong and true to his culture that, he would be the perfect guy with him, not just a manager, somebody that, somebody alongside a teammate. But I wouldn't just give him because first of all, he doesn't need the distraction.
Sure.
He doesn't need a third man out there for a distraction. When he's performing and doing his thing in the ring. So unless they had other plans for him as a heel or something, I can't see them doing that as a babyface.
Yeah, the only person I could maybe think that'd be neat to pair him with would be somebody like Heyman gets his talons into him or something like that, where it elevates.
That's a whole nother thing.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah. If Paul Heyman, puts the Midas touch next to him, he's main event status, instantly. But it would be really premature. There had to be a reason for that story to make sense.
Absolutely. No, he's great. He's like such a nice little shake up almost for WWE. It's something that they haven't done in a while. So they're doing right by him so far. It's really cool to see. I'm excited to see the matches ups that we're going to get to witness down the line and everything to that effect as well too. So very, very cool stuff.